Good morning, it's Monday, July 27th. I'm Alex, and this is Main Street Briefing. Today, a new round of tariffs hits your shelves, the New York Fed puts a hard number on the pain, and cooling inflation offers a little breathing room. 3 stories, 5 minutes, done. President Trump's latest tariffs took effect over the weekend, and small importers are feeling it before anyone else on the supply chain. Weekend reporting followed owners scrambling to reprice orders already on the water, goods they bought at one landed cost that now arrive at another, with the duty owed on delivery. Here's why it stings more for you than for the national chains. Large retailers pre-buy inventory months ahead, warehouse it, and negotiate suppliers down on volume, and a 10-person shop simply can't do any of that. When the cost jumps, you either absorb it and watch your margin thin, or pass it to customers who are already price-sensitive heading into fall. Guessing wrong on either one is expensive. The practical move is to know your exact exposure before your next purchase order goes out, not after the invoice lands, and it's too late to change suppliers. Not every product is hit the same way. The rate depends on the category and the country it ships from. What to watch? Pull your top 10 imported products this week, check each one's country of origin against the new tariff schedule, and flag the 2 or 3 where a domestic or nearshore supplier could hold your margin. The New York Fed just backed up what owners already feel. Its new Liberty Street analysis found small businesses were hit harder by last year's tariffs than large firms were, and most responded the only way they realistically could, by raising prices on their own customers. Bigger companies had room to absorb the cost or hold their markups through sheer scale. Smaller ones didn't have that cushion. The report flagged something quieter but just as damaging. Some owners tapped higher-cost financing, credit cards, and short-term loans simply to keep inventory moving. That interest doesn't show up as a tariff, but it eats profit every month. The bigger takeaway is that pricing has stopped being a set-it-and-forget-it decision. In a year where input costs move every few weeks, the owners protecting their margins are the ones reviewing prices on a schedule instead of reacting once a year. It doesn't need to be complicated. It needs to be regular. What to watch? Build a 1-page cost sheet for your 5 best sellers, list current cost and current price side by side, and update it the first Monday of every month, so a price change becomes a 5-minute call instead of a quarterly scramble. There's some real relief on the inflation side. The Consumer Price Index rose 3.5% over the year through June, and last month it cooled more than economists expected as gas, clothing, and used car prices actually fell. The catch is, the relief isn't evenly spread. Restaurant prices are still climbing. Food away from home is up 3.4%. So if you run a cafe, a bar, or a food counter, your input costs haven't softened nearly as much as the headline suggests. Read your own categories, not the national average. Where the cooling does help is that softer overall inflation gives you a little more room to hold your current price without scaring off foot traffic, because customers feel slightly less squeezed at the pump and the register. That's a window to protect margin rather than chase volume with discounts. What to watch? Check whether any of your non-food supply costs, packaging, cleaning products, paper goods, have flattened this quarter, and if they have, lock a fixed price reorder with that vendor now, before the next tariff round pushes them back up. That's your Monday. I'm Alex. Back tomorrow with 3 more. Make it a good one.